and I saw that an actor was leaving Law and Order, and I don't know why. It hit me like a lightning bolt. Like they're gonna call me, and I put it out of my head. And
it was a hunch.
3 days later, on my birthday, my agent calls me and said, "We got a call from the team at Law and Order. They're offering you this part. They want you to join the cast next week."
Hi, Reid. How are you? Nice to meet you. I'm Romina from Malditos Nerds Infobae here in Argentina. I have a lot of questions because I love Law and Order and I love the job you do in other shows. So it's weird to see you here playing a detective. Okay, first of all, who is Vincent Riley? What are you adding to the show?
Vincent Riley he's a complicated guy, but it's been a lot of fun to play because he comes with a really interesting backstory. He's a father. He's an ex-husband. He's a recovering alcoholic, but he's also an incredibly dedicated police officer who is he's like a hunting dog. Once he's let off leash, all he wants to do is crack the case, solve the crime, save the victim. So it's a blast. I really get to explore a lot of things in this character. Some things that I haven't gotten to play with before, and it's also been a real joy that they've given me the latitude to sort of bring some of my humor into this world, because I love it. I grew up on Law and Order, so it's really fun to finally get to be a part of it.
Well, it's something that I was going to ask you because Vincent is a little funnier than the other characters I have seen in Law and Order. Did they let you to do that, or they thought about Vincent and you playing Vincent with that in hand?
Yeah, it was something we discussed when I joined the show. They were really intent on bringing some of that old school Law and Order humor back, and I was a massive fan of Jerry Orbach, so to sort of be able to kind of following in his footsteps, I jumped at the chance. And our showrunner, Reid, he basically gave me carte blanche. He said, find the humor, do what you do. The show is the show, but there's plenty of opportunity for you to sort of, get those little comments in there. And the goal has never been to make it funny. For me, it's always been more of, in this incredibly stressful environment and this incredibly stressful profession, how does one stay sane? And in the research that I've gotten to do, you do see these real life detectives making what some people would consider, humorous comments here and there. And it's a way to sort of preserve their own sanity. And so it really comes from more of a place of that. And I think it ends up ringing true. And it colors our scenes with this wonderful brush, and we really, try to make it authentic and try to make it very honest and realistic.
Well, you said something about the cases. What the real life detectives have to deal with, and you have to deal with cases, especially if you are in Law and Order SVU, which are harder cases also. Do you have, when you are playing this character, do you tend to have a difficult scene or difficult topic? Or is it just like, it's acting, it's fictional, it doesn't matter?
No, there's definitely, moments or cases, the way they're presented that stick with you or get under your skin or rub you the wrong way. And honestly, it's wonderful to have those moments because it helps bring a different side of the character out. And you get to see, everyone has their triggers, right? And these detectives, they're human beings. So depending on the case, whether it's, and violence against a woman or against a child, whatever it might be for that character, you want to see those detectives show those human emotions. So to be able to, for myself, if a particular case triggers something for me, I try to channel it into the character and then let that help sort of inform the character as we go on so that we can see that consistency. So if it comes up again, we see the same sort of triggering, but also what is he going to do differently? Because we want these characters to sort of be learning from their own mistakes and actually have an evolution, not just a hard reset, rinse, repeat, where they've learned nothing from last week. So it's really been wonderful to carve out an evolution emotionally for these characters over a season.
Well, you said that also in other interviews, the rinse and repeat subject, where you have to do all the same things for this show because every day there is a new case, a new thing you have to solve. How are you holding up with the routine? Is it okay, or is it a bit harsh to do the same? But it's not the same, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I wouldn't say it's harsh at all. It's certainly a challenge. But again, you know, I try to put everything in context of what are these characters going through, and you know, we have it easy. Our rinse and repeat. You know, we get to go home, and the bullets aren't killing us, and things like that. But these detectives, it's very much a rinse and repeat. You know, you finish one case, you wrap it up. Hopefully, you put away the bad guy, and there's just another bad guy waiting out there for our guys to go get. So, you know, I like the challenge of having to sort of go back to square one and start over again, because again, it just ends up informing the character.
Yeah. Okay, good answer. Actually, it's really nice to see
how you can. I stayed up all night working on that one.
Oh, thank you. It's really nice to see how you can do with such a particular show, because Law and Order is not only a classic, but it's such a long show that has its tribute. It has other shows also going. I have seen Law and Order. I have been raised by Law and Order, actually.
So, a lot of us have.
Yeah. So for you as an actor, I assume that everyone at some point of his life, being an actor, wants to be in Law and Order, being the criminal, being the detective, or being, I don't know, some random guy at the moment. Was it something that you always wanted to do, to play
Absolutely.
in Law and Order? Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I was, you know, right out of college, late 90s, early 2000s, coming up as a young actor in New York City, it was a rite of passage. Everyone wanted to do a Law and Order. And the fact all of my friends did, all of my actor friends, guys and girls, all made a turn on Law and Order, and it never happened for me.
No.
And I was very upset. And then I ended up moving to California for a different job, and I kind of just let it go. I sort of said, oh, all right, well, that's one thing that's not part of my story. And so, you know, 23 years later, the fact that it's come back around, and I get to be a part of the cast in this way has just been, it's been a real treat.
When you received the call, how was it? You had to play a part to be, if you could do Vincent, or since you are a renowned actor, they call you and say, come to Vincent.
No, it was really interesting, and this has never happened to me before. As you know, we had a very long strike, and the day the strike ended, I happened to be reading Deadline and, you know, some industry websites just to see what the news was on the strike, and I saw that an actor was leaving Law and Order, and I don't know why. It hit me like a lightning bolt. Like, they're gonna call me, and I put it out of my head. And
it was a hunch.
3 days later, on my birthday, my agent calls me and said, "We got a call from the team at Law and Order. They're offering you this part. They want you to join the cast next week." And I said, yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I had this gut feeling, and I was so excited. It was a very easy decision for me to make. I met with, again, our showrunner, Rick, and some of the producers at Wolf, and it just felt like the right fit. And I was thrilled that I jumped in feet first, and I've been having a blast since day one.
Oh, that's amazing. I think we ran out of time. I wanted to do so many more questions, but I'm going to have to let you go.
Sure. Well, let's speak again sometime. Happy to.
Okay, I will love to. Reid, it's been an honor to meet you. I love what you do. I love Law and Order. So congratulations on this show, and I hope you have an amazing season and more to come.
Thank you very much, Romina.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rami. Bye-bye.